You're being watched. I'm not talking about your nosy neighbor or even the government. I'm talking about this.
UFOs.
UFOs flying through the air are real.
And before you roll your eyes and dismiss what I just said, I'm going to present you with facts, evidence of what's been happening. Not tales from people wearing tinfoil hats, but from high-level government personnel, the US Congress, the military.
They were always out there. You know, they were out there when we took off, we'd see them, and then we'd go to land, they would still be out there.
Like every day?
Every day.
And even the higher office.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
If you stop watching now, well, the story ends for you. You keep living your life and you believe whatever you want to believe. Or you keep watching. You stay in Wonderland and I promise you, I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Over the past 3 years or so, the public has been able to see several astounding images of what certainly qualify as UFOs.
This week, the U.S. government releasing a new report on unidentified anomalous phenomena, what most people know as UFOs.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. You can't start talking about UFOs without mentioning the Roswell crash. Well, simply put, it's the origin story. It will be like trying to tell someone about the Lord of the Ring franchise and not mentioning the Fellowship of the Ring. People might get a bit confused and start asking questions like, who's Precious and what in the world happened to her boyfriend? Now, I'm not gonna get into details, but I just wanted to mention something that always bugged me about the Roswell incident. And I do believe it's one of the reasons, if not the reason, why many people believe a cover-up happened 75 years ago. You see, something just doesn't add up. On July 8, 1947, a man named Mike Roswell found unusual debris on his property near Roswell, New Mexico. The debris was so unusual that he felt the need to report the findings to local authorities. Now, I have no idea what he found, but it must have been pretty unusual because the local authority in turn immediately decided to notify the Roswell Army Airfield. And that's not it. Military officials recovered the material, and after examination, they issued a press release that would change the world forever. The official Army press release stated, and I quote, "We found a flying disc." It was the biggest news in human history. We're not alone. It went viral across the country, well, just for a day because merely hours following the announcement, the Army changed their tune. They were like, oops, sorry, we've made a mistake. It's actually a weather balloon. Alright, explain this to me like I'm a 2-year-old because there is an element to this thing I just cannot get through my thick head. You mean to tell me that this is what the local authorities felt that it was so bizarre, so strange that they had to notify the Roswell Army Airfield. And still this, it's what the Roswell Army Airfield examined and then mistook as a flying disc? Okay.
Since the early 2000s, we have seen an increasing number of unauthorized and or unidentified aircraft or objects in military-controlled training areas and training ranges and other designated airspace. Reports of sightings are frequent and continuing.
On November 14, 2004, about 90 miles off the coast of San Diego, California, a naval strike group led by the USS Nimitz, one of the largest aircraft carrier, was about to do a major air defense exercise when the chief radar officer, Kevin Day, noticed something really strange.
I was up on watch. I was anti-air warfare coordinator. I'm the actual guy that makes the identifications. My whole job is to identify stuff that flies.
Okay.
And I noticed these really strange contacts off Catalina Island. They were at 28,000 feet in a real loose formation, and they were tracking south at 100 knots.
Now, it is strange because it was flying way too high to be a commercial plane or a bird, and way too slow to be a fighter jet. They thought it was some kind of glitch, so they ran a bunch of diagnostic tests on the radar and brought all the system back up. However, the track signal just got sharper. Something was definitely up there. This object in the sky was not just moving, it was alive with motion. It seems to engage in a game of cosmic ping pong. It kept changing speed and direction in a way that seemed impossible. Not merely defying, but quite frankly mocking our well-established laws of physics.
I had never seen anything fly like that before.
Two seated F-18s had just taken off their air defense exercise, led by a Top Gun graduate and one of the best pilots the Navy's ever produced. No, not that Maverick, the other Maverick. So they cancel the defense exercise to go investigate. They glance around and then spot something odd in the water below. It seems like an object, vaguely shaped like a cross, the size of a big airplane, is just below the water surface. And then they see something that will be forever engraved in their memory, until the last breath.
So as we're looking down off the right side, the backseater in the other airplane, Jim, says, this is that talking in partials again. He says, "Hey, Skipper, do you?" And that's about what he gets out of his mouth. And I go, what the hell is that? In a nice.
Do you see that essentially is what he's saying?
So we see the white water, and that's what draws our eyes down there. Otherwise, we'd have never seen it. So we see this
I would
white
have loved
water,
to see the look on your face when you see that. Like,
and then we
what?
see this little white Tic Tac, because we're about 20,000 feet above it, and it's going basically north, south, and then east, west, north, and it's abrupt. It's very abrupt. So then I go, hey, I'm gonna go check it out. And the other pilot says, I'm gonna stay up here. And I said, yeah, stay up high, because now we get a different perspective.
So you're sort of spiraling down?
Yep. The Tic Tac's still pointing north-south. It goes, and just turns abruptly and starts mirroring me. So as I'm coming down, it starts coming up.
So it's mimicking your moves.
Yeah, it was aware we were there. Now, you gotta remember, this whole thing is like 5 minutes. This is not like we saw it and it was gone.
Yeah.
Or, I saw lights in the sky and they were gone. We watched this thing on a crystal clear day with 4 trained observers to watch this thing fly around. So I go like this, and it's climbing still. And when it gets right in front of me, it just disappears. Disappears. Like gone. And so we're like, the first thing is, dude, did you guys see it? The other airplane's like, it's gone. We have no idea where it's at.
Did your backseaters see this too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There was 4 of us in the airplanes literally watching this thing for roughly about 5 minutes.
Now, I understand these claims might sound a bit outlandish at first. If you came up to me claiming to have witnessed a Tic Tac Ship UFO moving widely across the sky, I'm gonna ask, what are you smoking, and can you get some more of it? However, when the same story comes from some of the most credible and experienced observers on Earth, it makes you stop and think again. What you're about to see here was supposed to remain hidden from public knowledge forever.
Dude, this is a fucking drone, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots to the west. Look at that thing, dude.
What you're witnessing here is very strange.
Nickel 6-1 Tango Logic.
You're looking at something hovering in the sky, and in the words of the Navy pilot who recorded this, not behaving by the normal laws of physics. See, normally infrared cameras capture heat from engine or anything that shows how a plane or something flies.
Roger, there's troubleshooting as soon as Can you box moving target?
But here there is nothing like that. Yet all of a sudden this mysterious object accelerates at an amazing rate, vanishing from sight.
I don't know who's building it, who's got the technology, who's got the brains, but there's something out there that was better than our airplane.
It wasn't until 2007 when the leak on the little-known UFO-centric site above Top Secret brought it to light. At first glance, well, it seems like just another wild conspiracy theory. Even on the Fringe website, it was just another story, overlooked and labeled as typical conspiracy, lost among many others. But sometimes, the truth, as they say, is often stranger and more fascinating than fiction. A decade later, a surprising story came out from the New York Times, revealing something extraordinary. It was about a secret Pentagon program that had been investigating UFOs for a very long time. Central to this revelation was a Tic Tac video from 2004 we just watched. The New York Times article shed light on this hidden program, showing the world that even the Pentagon, who for decades denied and labeled people reporting UFO sighting as, let's just say, misguided, had come across things in the sky they couldn't explain. These were objects moving in ways that left seasoned pilots puzzled.
Dude, that is a fucking drone, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA.
In an age where the line between reality and fiction blurs, the video sparked widespread speculation and intense debate online as to whether it was real or not. Then, to my surprise, something I never thought would happen happened. The Pentagon made an astonishing admission, confirming that this footage is in fact real, and they have no idea what it is.
What you see here is aircraft that is operating in a U.S. Navy training range that has observed a spherical object in that area. And as they fly by it, they take a video. You see it looks reflective in this video, somewhat reflective, and it quickly passes by the cockpit of the aircraft.
And is this one of the phenomena that we can't explain?
I do not have an explanation for what this specific object is.
We know that our service members have encountered unidentified aerial phenomena. And because UAPs pose potential flight safety and general security risk, we are committed to a focused effort to determine their origins.
Wait. You just watched a top Pentagon official right in front of Congress admitting that UFOs are real. Oh, and by the way, they're calling them UAPs now. Why the name change, you ask? Well, it seems like UFO had a bit too much old school crazy, misguided enthusiast vibe. I don't know about you, but I'm still calling it UFO. It seems like the rebranding to UAPs might be an attempt to make people forget they used to deny the existence of UFOs all these years.
That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is the LNS, dude. Well, if there's like, look at that thing. It's rotating.
This was no ordinary recording. Unlike the usual stories we hear, this was genuine Navy evidence of a UFO, captured by some of the world's most skilled pilots. Oh, and it wasn't just one incident reported by one or two pilots. UFOs were either spotted or tracked by numerous seasoned pilots and sailors over decades.
Just released this video that was taken by the U.S. Navy. He says that this is the best UFO video that has ever been released to the public, but there are a lot more questions than there are answers.
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
This is David Grosh, a former intelligence officer who has come into the spotlight as a whistleblower. He claims to have inside information about a secret US government program about UFO kept classified for decades. If you believe what David Grosh is saying to be true, well, buckle up, Dorothy, because we're no longer in Kansas.
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone.
David Grosh and the two pilots who had first-hand encounters with UFOs testify under oath in front of Congress. This is very significant because if they were caught lying, they could face a long prison sentence. These facts alone makes me more inclined to listen to what they have to say.
As an expert naval aviator, have you ever seen an object that looked and moved like the Tic Tac UAP?
No.
Did the Tic Tac UAP move in such a way that defied the laws of physics?
The way we understand them, Yes.
The government is in possession of potentially non-human spacecraft. Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
The testimonies of pilot and intelligence officers about UFOs hint at a universe filled with possibilities. Saying that the universe is big is an understatement. We have over 100 billion galaxies, each with potentially trillions of stars. The notion of life beyond Earth grows more credible each day. Are these UFOs evidence of life from other galaxies, dimensions? Or could it be the result of advanced human technology, perhaps high-tech drones built in secrecy? Let me know what you think in the comment below.
We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory. They did not have an easily explainable pattern. And so, I think that people still take seriously trying to investigate and figure out what that is.
Personally, whether these observers are from distant world or the result of our own innovations, the realization that we are not alone is inescapable. Each sighting and testimony brings us closer to understanding our place in the cosmos. In this vast undiscovered space, one thing can be sure is, we are being watched.